last time on Dragon Ball Z.
And it's kind of hard to do that from home, especially using Wi-Fi, because it's highly corruptible and it's really easy to hack and things of that nature.
Will the community come to a consensus on the delays or possibility of delays? Find out today.
Hey, what's up guys, it's Mark Yoon and welcome back to the channel. And today is Friday, so it's obviously our community day. And for those of you that are not familiar with my channel, or this is a first time visitor, or maybe you commented this week and you're still trying to figure out whether you wanted to say subscribed or not, Friday is the day where I highlight my favorite responses to videos that I've made in the past week. So this is just a chance to get back to the community and highlight your responses. You can go back and check all of the other Friday community videos for examples. But without further ado, let's begin. So the first video that we're going to talk about is when I revealed that the DLC possibly may be delayed from a couple of tweets from Motohiro Okubo on Twitter and some other sources like the website. We're still not sure if this is going to be the case or if they're just trying to play it safe. But anyway, here are the comments. So Shenli said, I've been looking forward to some kind of news about Soul Calibur 6. I grew up playing Soul Calibur, so I really want to see this game do well and stay alive. I've been craving some new content, so it's good to know that they are still working on it. I know lots of people are waiting for Setsuka, myself included, so I wish them the best of luck, and I hope that they get the sales they need, and thanks for the info. You're welcome for the info, and I think all of us are with you on the same page where we think everyone is going to stay safe, and we do really want this DLC. A lot of us, Setsuka is our main, particularly not me, but there's a lot of people out there, so I'm really happy that she's coming back, and thanks for the comment. And then we have Nin Puncho Sensei, who says, the best way is to release Huang first, because Huang is a sort of Shinhwa male version and easier to create. Setsuka should appear with the snow at the end of this year. He's referring to the fact that Setsuka actually means snow in katakana. But what I wanted to get into about that, which we've talked about in other videos, so I'm only going to lightly touch on it, is Huang and Yoon are definitely tied together, but we think that one of them is going to get a revision. Particularly, I think Yoon is going to be the one that gets the revision. Some people think Huang. I'm not sure yet, but Yoon is slated to be the last character released as part of Season Pass 3, so that would make sense for why they're taking so long with that character if they're rebuilding him from the ground up. Crimsonite 20 says, thanks for keeping us up to date. It's a bummer we have to wait a little bit longer, but the way things are in life now, they're doing the best they can. We will survive if it means we'll get some great content to close out Season 2. I think a lot of people agree with that assessment. There were some comments that were veered towards the negative side, but not too many. I mean, on this video, there was like over 100 comments, and I think there was only like 2 that were like overtly negative, which I try not to like really deal too much with, because this community has been great for the 3 years that I've been around, so I like to try and keep it that way. But thanks for the awesome comment. MetalRaptor says, I kind of figured this was going to be the case, and I'm more happy now to know the bad news than to wait an eternity to find out the painful way. In my case, there are a lot of games I need to catch up on. I've also been playing a lot of Phantasy Star Online 2 as of late, so I can handle the wait. One thing I wish they would do, though, is just go ahead and announce the next character. We don't have to have a fully animated trailer, and most people are already well aware that Setsuka is most likely next character anyway. So if anything, disclosing the information will just put everyone at ease. I gotta say, it must be pretty stressful for Okubo right now. It's bad enough that he has to work on a tight budget. I think the reason they haven't done the release trailer yet is because their release trailers are usually pretty scheduled with the release of the actual character itself. And I feel like if there is a delay for the actual character after the trailer is released, then it would probably upset investors. So I can kind of see where you're going with that. Just like put it out there that she's the next character coming. But as of the past couple of years, we've seen characters come pretty frequently after that. SolarFan95 says, these things can't be helped, I suppose. I mean, no one expected something like COVID to show itself like this. I certainly never would have expected like this, anything to happen in my life. In our lifetime, I think that that's probably true. I mean, our parents were my parents in particular were Generation X and part of a baby boomer family. Like, my dad was one of like 9 kids. So my grandparents being baby boomers, the whole reason that even happened was because they just got out of so many years of different wars and problems. Like, I mean, if you think about what my grandparents went through, I'm a little bit older than some of you guys, but they had the Great Depression, they had the mortgage crisis, they had the Vietnam War, the Korean War, they had World War II. There was just a lot of stuff that went on, the Cold War. There was a lot of things that went on during that time period where, like, people were just, like, hard workers and didn't really have the cushy lifestyle that we do. Even though a lot of people think that our life is not cushy, doesn't mean we don't have problems, but it is compared to that generation. So I think it would prepare our minds for not being able to expect something like this to happen. But a lot of these things are cyclical in nature, so it's only a matter of time before those things rear their ugly heads again, because humans that tend to forget history tend to repeat them in the future, unfortunately. YeldLGW says, I'm patient and I'll wait however long it takes. This extended time has made me do something I never really did with the Soul Calibur series before, Soul Calibur 6, mess around with characters other than the ones I usually play as. I probably played more characters in this game than I have played in the entire series up to this point. Yeah, I'd have to agree. It's gotten me to actually dive into Libra of Souls, thanks Matt, and made me actually change my whole mind and perspective around the mode, and now it's become one of my favorite modes. And I was planning on, like, just not even touching it based on a little, like, playtime that I actually had with it. But diving into more aspects of the game is always fun. Plus, some of us have a backlog of games that we need to get to anyway. So this is just an excuse to, like, throw on those old games and finally finish them or beat them before we get any new content. Terrence Brow says, thanks for the news, G. Hopefully they take as much time as they need. I agree. I don't want it to be too long, obviously. Like, I'm a bit impatient as well. I'm just trying my best to be pervasive in this situation. I'm just trying to be empathetic and understand, like, where they're actually coming from and how it's, like, really hard to complete a lot of that work that they need to get done right now, especially from home. But, yeah, you too. David King says, I mean, yes, it is understandable, but to be honest, even without the pandemic, they were very slow in releasing content and very bad at keeping the hype. We talked about that in the financial gain rewards and the finances behind Soul Calibur 6 video. If you guys want to check that on my channel, it's in there somewhere. The problem with that being is that, like, Soul Calibur almost died as a franchise, and this is kind of a probationary game. Soul Calibur 5 indeed killed Soul Calibur. Motohiro Okubo and a couple of other developers for Project Soul had to really go fast and hard to try and get this greenlit, get Soul Calibur greenlit in the first place. And the budget was insanely small by Bandai Namco originally. And every single season pass therein has been paid for by the previous season pass's guest characters. So it's really hard to actually pump this out like a usual content. So I wouldn't actually compare this like a Tekken or like a Mortal Kombat, because they have huge teams and with big budgets, and this game almost didn't even happen. So that's where I guess the understanding comes into play. Thanks for the comment, Dave. Necrogami Soulcoon says, I mean, I understand why it's going to take a while, but man, does that suck. I really wanted to main Setsuka again. Well, you'll have your chance. She's still coming next, and we're not even sure if she's going to be delayed. The latest estimates that I'm going with is we'll get a late July trailer, and we'll get an early August release, and then September and October, respectively, for Huang. And that's just an approximation based on the way they've done things in the past, and just based on the general timing of things coming out. But we'll do videos on that later on if we get any more news. Ashton Burch says, I hope they stay safe and work hard. Hopefully they will update us with something. They'll probably update us as soon as they have something viable. I don't think they want to go out there and go out on a limb and say, like, hey, this is coming. You guys all have known this is coming for a year. It's not ready yet, but here it is. I mean, they're pretty close on social media to all of us, and they watch these, and they know that most people know what's coming and when it's possibly coming. So I think they're just keeping their cards close to their chest so they don't, like, shoot themselves in the foot by giving us a release date, not being able to produce on that release date, pushing that release date back, and then everyone in the community blowing up at them again, saying how they're lazy and stuff like that. So I think they're just really trying to protect themselves. Patriots 1112 says, pretty much everything in the world has come to a halt. As long as everyone stays safe and we eventually get more content, I'll be happy. And this is the consideration that I've seen a lot on my channel, especially from my viewers. I don't know if that's because I exude that or because like we try to keep it positive in the comment section. Generally speaking, there's been times where I've gone off about stuff, but I have a really great community on this channel, and any new viewers, it's definitely one that you don't want to pass by if you're looking for Soul Calibur and Mortal Kombat content. I pretty much have cut down all my content to just focusing on those 2 games, and if you've seen my content recently, it allows me to dive in a lot deeper into the games themselves. Like, I think we've gotten a lot more out of Soul Calibur than I expected to originally, when I would just cover the news about, like, release dates and, like, rumors and stuff like that. I think it's actually grown into its own, and we'd be happy to have you here. And thanks, Patriots, for always being positive, and a lot of you guys have been on my channel for a long time, so I appreciate it. StewPhoenix says, honestly, I think they should take as much time as they need. And yeah, it seems to be the sentiment, and I'm really happy that a lot of you guys are in the same consensus boat with me as that. It's better that they be safe and produce quality product and get it later than rush something and have to fix it later with patches and us be more annoyed than we need to be. Wright says, how long will the delay last, and will the DLC be released as planned? I already covered that in a previous comment. It's still on course of being planned. Okubo was just being safe on his Twitter account and saying, like, there is a possibility, but when you disclude, like, things that aren't possible, of course, like, it's possible that it can be pushed back because they're working from home, but Japan opens back up again this week, so maybe they can kind of put in some crunch time and try to get a lot of that stuff done, even though I'm really against crunch time. But I think that they're probably going to want to try and push that out there. They've probably gotten a lot of assets done at home, but now they have to, like, bring them into the office and work on them together, and everyone's still trying to, you know, keep a safe distance and practice caution. So we'll see where things go. The answer right now is it's on track until we hear further notice, so I wouldn't just, like, automatically assume it's getting delayed. Jesse MB27 says, as much as the waiting is annoying, but I'll be willing to be patient because getting new characters and content is not worth hurting Project Soul employees' health, heck, even risking their lives. Stay safe, everyone at Project Soul, Bandai Namco, and all of you guys too. And I think that's a great one to close this episode out of. It relays the sentience and the sentiment that all of us are pretty much trying to put forth right now. All of you guys, I hope you're staying safe as well. We don't get into too much of that on the channel because of, like, demonetization and stuff like that. Just to let you guys know, I did open a Discord as per request from a lot of you. Only a few of you have joined it thus far, but there's a link to it in the description box down below. That's where you can get information on, like, what videos I'm probably going to be making, or if you guys wanted a requested video or something like that, that's the best place to reach me on. So you don't have to go to Twitter, because Twitter's kind of hard to navigate anyway when you have to DM people. But besides that, I want to thank you guys for another great week, and thanks for these understanding videos and comments, and I can't wait to see you guys on Monday. And as always, thank you. Thank you.
Hey, what's up, guys? Have you always wanted some sweet Mark Yoon merch? Maybe a Thick You shirt, maybe a shirt from Squirt, maybe my pretty face with my logo all over your body, or a throw pillow, or blanket, or anything? Well, you're in luck, because I just launched my merch store, and it is going to be available on Redbubble, and you will find a link to it in my description box down below. It's got a lot of quality content, and a lot of good stuff for you to pick up, so you can show your support for the channel, and just rep Mark Yoon. Alright guys, as always, Thick You.
Next time on Dragon Ball Z.
Next time, we dive more into the Soul Calibur 6 lore and find out more information on our favorite characters and mythos. Stay tuned for next time.